First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Down. 15 line it. 15 line it.
59. Here we go, D.
On the ball. On the ball. Get it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got Smith here. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Oh, you got deep?
Greystone, Travis.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the down.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Recon, 132 fighter.
2nd and 3. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Let's go. 8 read.
59. Hey, let's get off the field, D.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Out of the gun, Newton. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Trey Hendrickson gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
20.
Single receiver. Watch 35. Watch 35. Come, baby. Come, baby. 24 is the mic. Defense.
Throwing is Newton. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Great.
From the gun, here's Newton. Gets his to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Here we go. 70, Indy.
Hey, watch the leg.
Hit it.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Let's go.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Kamara. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. They'll drop the throw. He's going to air one out. That's going to be caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Go.
52, right 52.
Ready.
They'll run it with Kamara. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
56, check 56.
Now back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
53, Mike 53. Check. 8. Mike 53.
Here's Newton. Going to throw right side here, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
Ready.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready.
Check 53, Mike. I don't even know why this team showed up.
Newton on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Strong right. We got 4.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long.
All day, every day, any day. 24. Don't get nervous. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Shift. Watch the shift.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gain?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go ahead and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
Hey, check Mike 21. Mike.
Hey, Mike 7.
They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Tight end's right. What's tight? Tight end's right. Hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
Gun.
Yeah. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Undercrush.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
24 is the mic. Get this move, go. 24 is the mic. No gain on him.
Throwing on third down, Newton. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Here's 2nd and 8. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
8, read.
Watch the 59. Watch the curve.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
59 mark. 59 mark.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
He'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And following the pick 6, and they've
decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Bravo! Get it!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
50, plant.
They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 18-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw, and this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Ready?
Mike, 56, right there, 56. Not today, you are. Not today.
Hey, Zoo. Yo, hit it.
Back to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. An 11-yard touchdown. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Here we go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down here, but
Very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Ito Smith. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Great. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Here's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll set up a throw. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Kamara. And an alley to run. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, Charlie. Ready?
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
61, matchbox wipes. Get it.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
I got one. Watch the edge.
Hey, orbit. Be careful.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They fake the give. Newton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 31-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Rip left.
2nd and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been threes.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Three down.
They'll try the right side here with Smith. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Panthers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 26. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Set. Ready.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Tight end's right. Even. 4 down. Even. Wide. Get wide.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Panthers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. Out of the gun, Newton. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Set. 180. 53. Mike. I got you, pop. Kill. Great.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
They'll try the air now with Newton. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Ian Thomas, his first touchdown on the year, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will get them one closer. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On the ground, Kamara. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On the ground, this is Kamara. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Ready.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Y'all playing the wrong football. Shift.
Back to throw here. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They come out here in the I. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Check 37, check 6-6, bullet high. Go.
Running with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. They were able to push him backwards on 1st down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that.
He's got a man complete. A big pickup of 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. So look at this. They'll go for a field goal now to get within a score. From the right hash, this from 33. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the field goal means we're back to a 1-score game, but with no timeouts left, I think this has to be an onside kick.
I like your analysis there, partner. I think you're right. You need the ball back. That's probably your only avenue.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now This game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Let's go. 15 line. 15 line.
Ready? Double tight. Double tight. Double tight. Four down. Four down. I'm going.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 44-yard line.
On the set.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
On the ready.
59. Mark. Check. 59. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Hit it.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And a sight that's becoming familiar in this season. They remain undefeated, another win under their belt.
And they did it the way that they really want to. Taking a knee at the end of the game, that means you have the ball, you're in control, you dictate the final part of this ball game, and they did exactly that.
And the clock rolls down to 0. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Saints, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.